From Clarkwoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 214.
What the fuck? I fucking deleted this email already.
What email? What email did you...
I deleted this Target email 4 times already, and it is back in my fucking email.
It's not... You sure it's not a resend of the same email?
Why would they send it 4 times?
Well,
I don't care about gifts for all.
They are retail, and they are struggling, Steve.
It didn't say that I had a new email. This is an email that was in my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
I have deleted. It came in at 12:51 p.m.
Okay,
so it's not a new email.
Down the very bottom of you're using the mail app on the iOS, right?
Yes.
Okay, down the very bottom of the screen, does it say anything about the status of your inbox? Does it say up to date? Does it
says
say
updated just now?
Okay. All right. Well, then I don't know. That would be my only guess. Would be that it's not updating.
Right, I'm going to delete it again.
Okay.
I'm getting out of my mail. I'm shutting the mail app off.
Okay.
And okay.
And are you gonna open it?
I'm gonna open it up maybe halfway through the show to see if the goddamn Target email has found its way back into my inbox.
Now, are you a person who will occasionally say Target, or is that verboten?
I think I have on the show said Target.
Target. Okay. All right. So you can't deny it.
I don't necessarily like the fact that I have.
Okay.
But
so you kind of that's one of those reasons you maybe don't like yourself so much.
I think it might have been one of those episodes where and truth be told, I have not been drunk on the show in a very long time.
Yes, that's true. Neither of us have been drunk. I can't drink anymore because I'm on the medicine that doesn't interact well with the drinking. And you only drink certain alcohol.
Yeah, and we don't have any vodka in the house.
Right.
We have gin, and I'm not going to drink gin. That's a bad idea. if people like me angry, they won't like me gin angry.
What is Steve gin angry versus Steve not gin angry?
No, I mean
what does the gin do? Are you got like a Bruce Banner situation going on?
No. Well, kind of, but like not destructive, more just angry.
Okay, you wouldn't like me when I'm hangry. When I'm jangry, when I'm gangry. Is it GIF or GIF?
Didn't we already talk about this?
We did. No, so I was just like, if you were doing not an acronym, a portmanteau of gin and angry, would it be jangry or gangry?
Neither.
So we got so much to talk about here, Steve. So much. We got a thing that happened outside your house. We got a thing that happened in my inbox, and then we've got the rest.
There's a thing that happened in your inbox.
Well,
too?
the podcast's inbox.
I was going to say, did a Target email happen?
No,
4 times in one day.
Are they listening? They're like Target's like, oh, they think they got rid of it. We deleted it out of his.
Hold on, I'm opening it back up.
All right, I don't want to lose my place. I've got
the most recent email is the one that you sent me yesterday that I haven't deleted, which was the email that you are speaking of.
Yes, the
do you want to kick off the show?
I don't know. I was just gonna say. So we got the email. We got the thing outside. We got a game show, and we got Ireland.
We've got more we've got game shows in Ireland.
Game shows in Ireland, but they're not called. I'm not supposed to make the joke.
What? Don't.
You say Dingle.
No, it took me a second.
Okay,
I didn't it took me a second to figure out what you were talking about.
All right, so I shouldn't even make the joke just to let you know what the joke was.
Yeah, no. Okay. Like, are you cold?
No, I actually was gonna start zipping my sweater thingy down.
What does your shirt say? I want to see.
It says...
It just says anxiety?
It says anxiety. On the back, it says... it has the Nine Inch Nails logo, but here it says...
Was this from your recent trip to see...
Yes, I bought 2 T-shirts. I was only going to buy the one that was for that specific night, that concert, but then I saw this one, which just says the word anxiety on the front of it, and I was like, I should probably own that.
Okay. So what I was going to say before you almost made that goddamn Dingle joke again.
Which one? The one about...
No.
The one about...
So what I was going to say...
The one about the apples or the one about the...
Fuck you.
Okay, sorry.
What I was going to say before you interrupted me thrice was that we should encourage people to contribute to the podcast with emails and what have you.
And one of the ways to do that is to do it at the beginning.
Yeah, if we do it at the beginning, then they're like, wow, they really give a shit about...
And we do.
Yeah, so we'll give a shit and then we'll read the email immediately.
Okay, because this is what they would call, and some of the podcasts I listen to, this is what they would call follow-up.
This is follow up to information that we spoke about last week.
Yes.
And it's great that Leo listens because
I was counting on it.
yeah, because he's you know he's an amateur,
He's a learned gentleman.
He's an amateur historian himself.
An amateur.
Well, he's not formally educated in
Oh,
history.
okay. All right.
So I'm going to call him an amateur.
An amateur. A pro-am? Would you go that far?
He might have taken a decent amount of history classes in college. So yeah,
Okay.
sure, let's go for it.
We'll call him a pro-am.
Yeah,
A prom.
yeah. He's golfing with celebrities.
Which celebrities is he golfing with?
and
I'm trying to imagine. Well, I'm trying to imagine Leo in like what kind of hat is it? Is it like a? It's not a beanie, but it's got like a. It's like a little floppy golf hat,
floppy dong hat,
and
is what it's called.
and it's got like a extra button on the top, and then he's got like short pants and long socks. He's got a sweater vest and a.
You buy a hat like that, and you hope you get a bowl of soup with it.
But now I'm imagining Leo.
Hope it looks good on you, though.
I'm imagining Leo in that getup, and then I'm trying to imagine who he's playing alongside, and then maybe who his caddy is.
Bob Barker.
Bob Barker's his caddy? Or he's playing alongside Bob Barker?
What?
Bob Barker, something you said earlier that I think is on the list for later, will remind me of Bob Barker. So let's put a fork in Bob Barker. Let's put a fork in him, and we'll come back to that.
Would you think that's a good name for a dog?
Fork in Bob Barker? Or just Bob Barker?
Just Bob Barker.
Bob Barker as the name of a dog. It's a little on the nose.
Oh, well, fuck it, kid.
I mean,
don't do it.
You don't want to mess with a dog's nose.
Especially not with. You can't pick your friends, but you can pick your dog's nose.
You can pick your dog. I don't know if it would be a good idea to pick your dog's nose.
Or you can pick your
I
friends.
feel like that guy who had the dog whose show I used to listen to, who got mad at us once. I feel like
he got mad at me once.
I feel like
because he misrepresented what I fucking said like a cunt.
I feel like if he heard about us picking a dog's nose, we would get some more tweets.
What if like they have boogies and they can't breathe?
But do you would you pick the nose, or would you like use a little tubey thing, like a bulb syringe where you'd like try to suck the snot out?
You get to suck the snot out. You suck their earwax out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like if I put my nose up into a dog's.
Gina is so grossed out right now.
Not my nose. I'm sorry. If I put my finger up into a dog's nostril, I really feel like I might lose that finger. I don't know why. It's not that I think there are teeth in a dog's nose.
Yes, there are. Of course. Don't you know dog anatomy?
There are teeth in a dog's nostril?
Yeah, like that's why you don't do it.
Oh my gosh.
That's why you use the bulb syringe, because when he clamps down with his
bulb syringe
nose teeth.
Yeah. Now, I mean, do all dogs have the same same quality of canines up there in the nostril area?
I'm done with this fucking bit. Can we just read the fucking email?
Bob Barker as the name of the dog.
Can this be a short episode?
I mean, I think it's certainly better than Pat Sajak as the name of a dog.
Well, Pat Sajak is a cunt. I'm very cunty today. I've just said cunt so many times.
What about what's your feeling on Alex Trebek?
I like Alex Trebek.
Okay, so not a cunt.
No.
Okay. Then White? I mean, she's not the host.
Yeah, but I don't have ill will towards her. Pat Sajak,
Chuck Woolery.
At least, yeah, I think he's pretty much a. I'm gonna change it to douche this time.
Douche. Okay, Chuck Woolery is a douche.
Yeah.
Woolery.
Why is it a majority of game show hosts seem to be like right wing asshats?
I don't know. Maybe that was part of the application back in the 80s when they were taking over for whoever the original hosts were. Because in a lot of cases, these guys... Barker was the original host of The Price is Right, I think.
I think so.
But in a lot of the other cases, there were...
Drew Carey isn't an asshat, a right-wing asshat. I don't think so.
I think so. He might be an asshat, but maybe I don't think he's a right-wing asshat.
Yeah.
Chuck Woolery, definitely douchebag. Woolery sounds like the name of a douche product that you might get at the Dollar Tree, like Woolery. Like it used to be like a big brand name, but now it's kind of gone under, and now you can get those douches at the dollar store.
Or like low end
Dollar Tree. Sorry, forgive me.
Low end Woolite maybe.
Low. Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be douche. It can be like
You might find that at Kmart. Have you been to a Kmart recently?
Well, there's one up the road.
Yeah.
But no.
I went into that one. I think we talked about this on the show. I went
to
into
get that
one.
small charger or the headphones?
Well, I got those headphones. But then recently, my family all wanted to go to I think it was the Dollar Tree. We were on our way back from Burlington, Mass. So the Dollar Tree we were going to pass.
Thanks for specifying. We didn't think it was Burlington, Vermont.
Well, yeah. Why the fuck would I be up there?
Smoking ganj with Bernie Sanders.
You think he picks his dog's nose when he smokes enough ganj?
I mean, why would he need to smoke weed to do that?
No, so we're driving up from Burlington,
Vermont.
Fuck it.
Obviously, you're driving into Canada.
Driving into Canada. We're going to see a strip show. No, we're driving from Burlington, Mass, and the next.
Canada has a lot of arts besides like titty arts.
Do they? I thought that was their number one export was the titty arts.
No, they're not. Like, it's not an export if you're going there to see it.
Well, maybe that's where everyone learns, is what I'm saying. People go up there to learn
the art of the titty,
to become a master of the titty arts, an MTA, and they then come back to the States with their MTA, and they disperse across the country.
Okay.
No, so we're going up from Burlington, Mass, and my kids and my wife want to stop at the Dollar Tree, and because they always want to stop at the Dollar Tree. I have no idea why, and I'm like, I want no part in the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna go high class it, because the Dollar Tree.
Five Below?
No. I'm gonna go to Kmart.
Oh,
because the Dollar Tree is in the same plaza as the Kmart.
So where is this in Billerica? This
is in Billerica. Okay. Yeah, at the old Billerica Mall. And I went into that Kmart, and it was one of the.
Did you walk through the mall area of the Billerica Mall?
I did not. I don't think you can. I think most of that.
It's all closed off.
Because so the Kmart and the
Burlington Coat Factory.
Maybe there is, but it looked to me like the end near Kmart was still had a kind of hallway, but that the rest of it was more of now like the newfangled strip mall, not strip mall, but newfangled sort of outdoor mall.
Because I'd been over there because I used to work in Billerica. I would go over there when I would get like Subway, because that was the closest Subway. Yeah, and like the Subway was outside, but I remember there still being a inside part.
All right, I didn't.
But
that
was
far.
as recently as say 2015.
Okay, yeah, so it probably hasn't changed. I just didn't go that far in. I went into the Kmart. I think I was looking for any kind of particular toys. I've started collecting these figurines, not the Funko Pops, but the Funko rock candies. They're a little bit taller. They wish they were baller. No, they're a little bit taller, and they are a little bit more normal looking than the Funko Pop figures. And
so what media?
They primarily have sort of female characters from various franchises. So they've got some Marvel. I know they have a Doctor Who. I don't follow Doctor Who, but they've got the most recent Doctor.
The new Doctor Who lady.
And
I've heard good things.
They got a bunch of Harry Potter.
I haven't watched any Doctor Who. I think I watched one half of one of the Christmas specials once.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that's that. Like I've said it before on the show. Like the fact that the beginning of the series doesn't exist anymore,
right,
makes it hard for me to try to get into it. And everybody's like, you should just start off at like whatever, like when the reboots happen.
Right.
I think it was like maybe Doctor 9.
I don't know. That sounds
when
right.
they started the new ones, maybe Doctor 8. I'm not sure.
I
Someone can email and tell me what's up.
It's all Greek to me.
Really?
Yeah, I watched Blink, which is I guess the one that it's the least Doctor Who episode of Doctor Who. And
Opa.
And that one was great, but I never watched another one because it was good. I was like, all right, this is good, but I don't need to ever see another one. I get the idea.
You know what? I've seen one episode of
don't need to see it.
like of a really good series.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my completionist, like the completionist in me, which is why like.
Which is why you're still watching One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, it's like 928 chapters, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, 800 and maybe 100 less episodes at this point. It's I think it's maybe in the next 4 or 5 years done.
Yeah. You think so?
I think maybe on its 25th anniversary, it'll be over.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see how that was. Is there a circumstance in which you could see yourself stopping before it ends?
I hope not. I hope there's not like something that happens that's so shitty that makes me not want to. I don't think there's something that Oda could write that would make me be like, well, this is the fucking worst thing I've ever fucking read now. Yeah.
Well, I get the impression with like stuff like the people who I know used to be super passionate about The Walking Dead, for instance, are now just like, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing and I'm out.
Well, I think the thing about The Walking Dead is that the folks that were writing it didn't have a clear plan forward. Right. They did, like, you know, as much as One Piece has been going on forever, like, Oda has an ending. Mm-hmm. He's got something in his brain of how he wants it to end. And, you know, adding small little bits of story here and there added, like, 15 years to the series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Like, I did not find any rock candy figures in the Kmart. Just to finish off that story.
They don't. I don't even think they have video games at Kmart anymore.
They don't. No, they have. I think they have like DVDs. They don't have any Blu-rays either. Their toys are mostly like the second or third rate like rip-off toys. Like I don't think they have Matchbox.
They don't even have like toys. Like
they have a few. They have some toys, but that they're mostly like not the big name brand. They're like some generic Japanese or Chinese companies attempt to do. It's like not even GoBots to use the parlance of our times. Like GoBots were a shameless ripoff of Transformers. It's like whatever was the ripoff of GoBots. It's actually whatever was the ripoff of GoBots. That's kind of what Kmart.
So they have Transformer type toys.
Yeah,
but that aren't even close to a Transformer.
Yeah, no, it was really sad. I mean, there were some people shopping in there. I
think people actually go to the one in Acton.
Yeah, that one seemed, comparing the two, the one in Acton seemed a little bit less
sad.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought Billerica, just in general, was a sad place.
Well, I mean, there are rivals in high school football.
Yes,
so obviously we're going to be.
I mean, they're a shithole, and we're not afraid to say that Billerica is a shithole, and they have a racist mascot name. You know. Well, it's not that racist. It's Indians as opposed to. It's not like Redskins or and they don't. Their mascot is not Chief Wahoo.
Yeah.
But
well, the thing is, like with Cleveland, I think they've been like scaling back on Chief Wahoo. And, and they I think when they play, they just have like a C.
Yeah. That's all right. Well, they maybe they'll eventually learn. Not like those ass hats in Washington D.C. who are not gonna change the name of their football team for nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I like there was a time like in my youth where I was adamant that those kind of things not be changed.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I was very ignorant when I was younger.
Right.
But now just like being a part of the world, like speaking to other people that aren't like, white heterosexual men.
Yeah.
And realizing that people have feelings and that, I'm not the only person that matters.
You would have thought that our parents and our culture like would have taught us that other people have feelings, but they really didn't. That was kind of like, I don't know, if they got an instruction book handed down from their own parents, like that chapter or that part of the chapter on basic human decency was not in there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry that I got us horribly off topic.
Well, let's read this fucking email before we do again.
We should read this email.
This is following up from our previous conversation about my our honeymoon in Ireland, and so talking about castles in Europe in particular.
Now, did you want to read it or you want me to read it?
You can read it.
All right. So
hey, turn your fucking noises off.
I did. You know what? What is this? What's this? Washington Post. It's from rebellious to reliable, Donald Trump Jr.'s journey back to family loyalty. Thank you, phone. I don't need to read that.
Why the fuck did your phone just need to make a noise to tell you that?
Because I've got the news app on my phone, and I have it set to give me breaking news alerts, and apparently...
That's not breaking news!
No, it's not. So my phone needs to be tuned.
What did I say last week? Stop talking about these fucking people. The news?
I'm sorry.
Not you. You're not the news.
Okay.
But I prefer we not talk about him either.
All right. Well, let's
or
talk.
His son, or his other son, or his other son.
Let's talk
or
about...
his daughter.
What about his other daughter?
He has two daughters?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
There's the one who's kind of like excommunicated. I don't know if she's excommunicated, but there's like the younger one.
No, we're not talking about her.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm sniffling so much, man. Castles from listener, friend of the show, Leo. Leo writes, "Hey guys, your answer Chris's question last week.
Can you read?
No, this is what it says. Your answer Chris's question last week. Castles evolved.
I think he meant to answer, but he accidentally typed your.
Okay." I should have. Yes. Okay. Okay. So hold on. Before I go any further, because it just happened, I know that every once in a while, our mics are like jump, and it was me. So my mic.
I
jumped
was backing
up.
up.
You were. I know. So my mic jumped up for a second, and I had no idea why. I apologize for that. And I think it hasn't happened to you, so I think I just need to back up off it.
Back up off it.
Yeah.
Back up off it. Come on, like back up off it.
That's a line from like a rap song.
Back up off it. What, the Poke rap?
No. Oh, it's from Snoop Dogg.
Oh.
For Gin and Juice.
Sure.
Speaking of jangry,
Does he get mad when he drinks gin?
No, I mean he has to back up off it. And then put that cup of gin down. Tanqueray and Chronic. Hey, he's fucked up now. Leo writes, hey guys.
Or as he likes to be called, Nards.
Okay, Nards writes, to answer Chris's question last week, castles evolved a lot over the history of Europe. In the early Middle Ages, they were fortified houses with complete defensive purposes.
Porpoises?
Didn't
we already have one that was something porpoises?
I don't know. I'm just writing anything down that might work. Complete defensive porpoises. That I imagine.
I think dog nose teeth or something.
Dog nose teeth. All right. I will put.
Or just nose teeth.
I had nose teeth, but now I changed it to dog nose teeth. Okay. In the early Middle Ages, they were fortified houses with completely defensive purposes. Kings and nobles often lived in the castle, but the most important purpose was to act as a defendable position for the village when your asshole neighbors came over unannounced. See the first picture of the medieval castle in Guimarães.
He's going to rip you apart.
Portugal.
That's why I didn't want to read it. I'm like, there are Portuguese words in this that I will not pronounce right.
These places were usually damp, cold, and gray. I feel like most of the life in Middle Ages could be described this way. I think he's probably right. Steve was right in saying that gunpowder... Steve was right. Hashtag
Steve was right.
Hashtag Steve was right. That should be our shirt. We need to make shirts. All the podcasts today have shirts, and we don't have shirts.
Hey, Dogman?
What's that?
What?
Hashtag Steve was right. Steve was right in saying that gunpowder and cannons significantly changed how castles were built. Nobles started putting more emphasis on making castles into really sweet houses, and defensive purposes took a back seat. By the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, a lot of nobles were building castle/palace hybrids that looked awesome but served no useful defensive purposes. See the last two pictures of the very Disney-looking palace.
Say defensive purposes again! They speak English in defensive purposes?
but served no useful defensive purpose. See the last two pictures of the very Disney-looking palace.
Are you going to put these in the show
Sintra,
notes?
Portugal. Yes, I will try to put these in the show notes, which will be clarkwoods.com/hot/214.
Ooh, that is really pretty.
Yeah, Leo writes, keep up the good work, guys, and thanks for letting me get in a shameless plug for traveling to Portugal. It's a pretty cool place to visit. Portugal does look like a pretty cool place to visit. Yeah. I feel like that is another place where people
we'd have to get
failed
Rick
us.
Steve's guide to Portugal.
That people failed us in our childhood because I don't know that I had a very strong sense until later in life where the heck Portugal was. I saw Spain, and I didn't realize that if you took away Portugal, you took away Spain's face. Like it, you know.
Yeah, remember how Nepal was India's hat?
I've heard that. Is it still?
We said that on the show, so obviously it must be true. So Portugal is Spain's face.
Portugal is Spain's face,
or Spain's mask.
And Florida is.
We don't need to talk about that again. Like. You don't need to. I heard Patton Oswalt was local recently.
Was he?
Yeah.
Shit.
Like I think the last couple of nights.
Fuck me.
Not in Boston too. I think it was like in a theater in the 128 belt.
What the? Okay.
So he was even closer. It would have been even easier for you to get to the show.
Yeah. One of these days I am going to get to suck his dick. I mean, what? I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just
totally serious about that.
Yeah.
You can take the unicorn lube.
The unicorn lube. I feel like he would appreciate that.
He would like his dick to taste like donuts? Yeah.
Right.
You can't have that as the title.
No, but I can put it in the description. Oh. Does Patton Oswalt
Are you gonna add him?
His dick to taste like donuts. I think it wouldn't be so much that he would want it. Would his wife want it? His wife Meredith? Meredith, I think that's her name.
Yes.
She might like it if his dick tasted like donuts. If she likes
donuts, then I imagine yes.
I don't know if she likes donuts.
Why don't you ask her?
I feel like I might get blocked or banned.
Okay, so like if you one time ask a celebrity if they like donuts, and if they don't answer, you don't bother them again.
Okay.
I don't think they will block you.
All right.
If you incessantly ask her, if she likes donuts, then maybe.
Okay, as long as it's just about donuts, not donut flavored lube.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so just ask her
if she likes to, maybe every once in a while enjoys a donut.
Okay, all right.
If you're gonna go down that road.
Okay. Well, and I'm interested in whether or not she'd go down that road. I mean, Patton's road, if you know what I mean.
But again, you could ask her, but I think that's more of an in-person kind of question.
Okay, so
that might get you
might get
slapped.
Trouble, yeah. All right. Well, so I mean, yes, I will try not to make any more. What Patton Oswalt joke was I about to make?
The one about Florida being.
Oh, Florida. It's a fucked up place, I hear.
Yep.
So I'm very happy to have, except for the castles. The castles down there in Orlando are pretty cool. I like them castles, both the ones on the Disney properties and the one on the Universal property.
Do 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 do. That was like the Disney song.
Oh, okay, all right.
The mid '90s.
I can't talk about it.
Oh, you saw Grindelwald's.
I saw
Jungle?
Grindelwald. Yeah, I saw him. And his there were some castles in that film.
So. A lot of people are up in arms about,
Steve.
about this particular film because Johnny Depp is now on the... What the fuck was that? Did you see the light go by?
I didn't. No, I did not.
All right.
A lot of people are up in arms because of Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is now on the outs because he's been
accused of battering his now ex-wife Amber Heard, who was in a trailer that was for Aquaman, and this group of trailers. I have to say, Steve, before this film, if you go to see it, I think you can pretty safe. I don't know if it'll be the same exact slate of trailers, but I'm guessing it'll be pretty similar. I think you should probably just avoid they are so bad. The movie, just on the whole, every trailer we saw was just so laughably bad that I almost.
So Aquaman was one of them.
Aquaman,
I think
oh
we
my
saw that one before we saw, what the fuck did we see last?
Did you see? Fuck. Wasn't a Star Wars thing. Wasn't a Marvel thing. Wasn't. What the hell else has been out lately?
I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Oh, we saw Venom. Sorry.
Venom. Oh, that's right. It was a Marvel thing. It's just
Yeah.
not a Marvel thing that I had any
Venom,
interest in.
Venom, Venom, Venom. That fucking song at the end, that fucking Slim Shady song was fucking so bad.
I just, yeah. So yes, Johnny Depp is kind of on the outs. Without saying anything more, there's a few other things that have come up as controversies around this film, and I think that in great part we are in the stage of J.K. Rowling's career where like now it's cool to hate her. Like she's just making all the wrong decisions, and in terms of like the internet literati, I don't know.
Is
People
that like
on
the Illuminati?
Yes, and no. So I just think that there are certain people,
That's our new way. Like as that's our way to stop improv from happening.
Yes.
Like and that's what we.
that should be our T-shirt. Is
Yes,
and.
How to stop conversation on the show? Just say yes and. The exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to yes and it, which is Ryan could explain it better, but just
Right.
a way to
Continue
the conversation, but it's our way to stop it.
I think there is a certain faction of people on the internet. I don't want to say that they're actually Russian bots, but I wouldn't put it past the Russians. Maybe the Russians just don't like J.K. Rowling. That are just looking for reasons to say that these films are controversial.
I have a bone to pick with her, but it has nothing to do with films and or Potter books and whatnot.
Oh.
It's the fact that she never she didn't want a Harry Potter pinball machine to exist because she thinks
shit.
pinball is gambling.
Shit, dog.
It's a fucking game, like a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could walk up to a Donkey Kong machine and it's a video screen, and you could fucking put in 50 cents and die in less than a minute.
Mm-hmm. Well, is there a Harry Potter arcade game?
There isn't a Harry Potter arcade game. But
I mean, there are
like
video
plenty
games.
of fucking video games from, I think, starting with like, I think the GameCube. I think was
Okay.
was
Yeah,
when,
I mean,
when the
and-
first
and,
films were coming out.
you could make a case for the
PlayStation 2 even.
the Hogwarts mystery game that's on iOS. I don't know if it's also on Android, but it's definitely on iOS. You can make a case because that uses a lot of in-app purchases. So
that's like a gotcha game.
Yeah.
So
I don't
fuck
like-
you, J.K. Rowling. You put your fucking stamp of approval on a goddamn gotcha game,
Yeah.
which can like decimate a family's funds if they don't fucking pay attention to it. But you're like, don't make a Harry Potter pinball machine for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And
Well-
so I've only heard like that is like from one of my pinball pals.
So
I
it
don't
might
know
not
if it's
be-
actually fucking true.
At any rate, I saw my family and I and my sister-in-law and her son went and saw the movie yesterday. We all enjoyed it. We went over to the Barnes and Noble, which was next door. We were up in Newington, New Hampshire, which is about halfway between my sister-in-law's place.
Is that where
and
like
ours.
the only Barnes and Nobles exist anymore is New Hampshire?
Um,
Because I know the one in Nashua is still there.
I'm trying to think. I think technically the Coop chain of store, like a lot of campus bookstores are still Barnes and Noble. So like the Harvard Coop, I think is technically like a Barnes and Noble, although it's or Harvard Co-op, whatever you want. That I'm pretty sure is Barnes and Noble, and the Leslie bookstore is a Barnes and Noble.
Okay,
so
it's
I
just
think like campus. Last I knew, but this is probably a decade or more ago. The UMass Lowell campus bookstore was a Barnes and Noble. So I don't think it's.
I know that the one in Framingham was not. It was a straight up. This is a campus bookstore.
Right. Yeah. I don't know for sure about.
I remember spending too much money on books that I never read there.
Anyway, I want to make sure we get to Dingle here soon, because I'm sure you have plenty to tell us about Dingle.
Yeah.
To wrap up so we went over to the Barnes and Noble that's just around the corner from there, and
isn't that also where they make fudge?
Around the corner?
See, you could have just left it there and continued with their story.
But would it be me if I just left it there?
Yeah.
If I left the fudge right there in the middle of the street.
So you pause a second. So maybe if somebody wanted to laugh, they could at that point.
Okay.
And then they wouldn't miss anything you say.
Okay.
And then you continue talking. I'm trying to help you out here.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
I come here to learn.
What, I mean, 214 episodes.
What have I learned? That I'm not funny. That
you are occasionally funny, Chris.
Okay, all right.
I think there was something 2 episodes ago that a couple of people. I don't remember exactly what it was, but a couple of people said they belly laughed when you said it.
Was it when I was tasting the lube?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm good for
No, it was actually something
humor.
Witty and funny
okay.
that you said that prompted that belly laugh.
Okay. So. Here's what was confusing. Just really quickly, I keep saying that, but it doesn't.
It's not quickly.
So my sister-in-law and I had this not argument, but she was trying to make me believe that the last time one of these Fantastic Beasts movies came out, that the book with the script in it came out far in advance. And my argument about that was, I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure if it came out in advance, it came out the Tuesday before, and the movie probably came out on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on whether it was Thanksgiving week or not. But I'm sure it didn't come out any farther.
You mean the play?
She puts out a book edition of the script. Of the in this case the screenplay script. It's actually, I have the first one and now I have the second one, and they're pretty well done editions. There's no need for them to be as big as they are. But because they're screenplays, they should be like 120
Listen, pinball hater, make smaller books. People have limited shelf space.
But I think if they were any smaller, they wouldn't feel like Harry Potter books. They would feel like these weird things that kind of stuck out. So now they're just thick enough to feel like they fit on the shelf comfortably with your other Harry Potter books.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. So anyway, my sister-in-law was up in arms that this one, the Grindelwald
Man-at-Arms.
She was frustrated that the Grindelwald script did not come out in advance of the film. She'd been saying this to me a week beforehand and whatever, and I guess they pre-ordered it on Amazon. She and her son. I went on Friday morning onto the Apple bookstore and I saw that it was available. I did not buy it because I didn't want to just have a digital copy, and I was like, oh, so it's out on the day that the film comes out, which makes sense because she doesn't want spoilers out there. But then I went into an actual Barnes & Noble, the one that's the Harvard Coop that day, and it was nowhere to be found. And then after the film yesterday, we went to another Barnes & Noble and nowhere to be found. Where is this play? Where is this book? And you'd think they'd be selling gangbusters. And because it's another Harry Potter.
I mean, that's always what happened. People would be like, I really loved Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I need the novelization. Yeah. It's going to sell gangbusters.
Well, not to completely
you
throw
bought
you under
the novelization?
I did not, but back then it was a big enough deal that they hired Terry Brooks, who was not huge, but he was a very well-known fantasy writer at that point. And hadn't kind of jumped the shark in his career at that point. So they thought that novelization was going to be big, and so they hired a big fantasy writer to write it. So just to
was it better than the film?
I recall
No, I mean, how could it be worse?
All right. So anyway, we got into line with the books that we were going to buy yesterday. And then it turned out that somebody had left one copy of the Crimes of Grindelwald script sitting right there in the checkout line. So I was able to grab that one. I don't know where they found it.
Maybe it's sold gangbusters and they only had that one copy left.
It's possible, but I would I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so I read a little bit of it over dinner because I was very curious about how certain things were phrased in the screenplay as compared to what was what was definitively on screen, and then what you would have to go to the screenplay to find out for sure. So that's how I spent my dinner waiting for appetizers, was flipping through a book.
What did you get for appetizers? I'm not an appetizer person.
I think we had salad and breadsticks. I don't think we actually got any.
So you went to the
Olive
Garden?
The Olive Garden.
Were you family?
When we were there, we were family, right?
But when you left, you were like, "Fuck you, divorce."
All right, let's cut to the chase here, Steve. We gotta talk about Dingle and a game show in Dingle, and then maybe if we have time at the end, you can talk about what's going on outside your house.
Yeah, we're gonna say that
All
tomorrow, maybe, or not tomorrow. We're not recording 2 days in a row.
No.
So after the Ross Castle,
yes,
we took the tour, which prompted Leo's email.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Dingle.
Yes,
which is on the Dingle Peninsula on the west coast. No.
What? You don't know what I'm writing.
Dingle Peninsula?
Yes, I'm typing the Dingle Peninsula.
It is. It's part of the Dingle Peninsula. What the fuck? It's not that funny of an expression.
It is very funny.
Stop.
I'm not allowed to make the other joke, so I'm gonna. The Dingle Peninsula is the joke I'm allowed to make.
So it's sort of like the Cape Cod of Ireland. Well,
okay.
I don't know. That's just a comparison that I've made.
Yeah.
And Dingle would be it's not a gay haven, but Dingle would kind of be like the end of the line, like P-Town.
Okay, got it.
And so we got there, and we parked the car. In
I didn't do it. I thought it, but I didn't do it.
We parked, and we were trying to find out where our fucking Airbnb was.
Okay.
And not having, so I had international service.
Okay.
And so I was just trying to figure out like how to call the lady.
Oh, okay. For the Airbnb.
Yeah, and it wasn't working. I don't know if I needed to dial another couple of numbers before I dialed something internationally.
I don't know. I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah, so it didn't work the couple times I tried to call her. And then so we went to the Centra Mart, which was ironically, our Airbnb was directly above where we were. Okay. So we went in there so we could get some Wi-Fi, so Becky could do the messaging on the Airbnb app. And then I went off, walking around looking for the goddamn place.
Right.
And then Becky gets a hold of the lady, and she shows up and gives us the keys. Or gives her the keys. I'm gone.
Yeah.
So I walk back. Becky's gone.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
You've just been left on your honeymoon.
Yeah, and I was like, in Dingle.
Were there any berries?
Fuck you! You promised. You fucking promised.
Did I?
Yes.
And.
No getting out of this one, you dickhead.
All right, so you're alone in a mini mart.
Well, it's sort of like a small supermarket.
Okay,
it's not. I wouldn't say it was like a little peach.
Okay, it was like a small size Trader Joe's, like Trader Joe's when it used to be over in next to the movie theater in Tingsboro before it moved over and got a whole big.
I don't know how big that used to be. So but it had like a small little bakery area and a little bit of a deli.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was bigger. Well, But if you think about it, like the White Hen Pantries used to have a deli. So
Yeah.
and that was a mini mart, but that was actually small. This is slightly bigger, but not as big as a supermarket. So
Okay.
it is a market
A market.
minus the super.
No super.
So yeah, I'm
When
like,
everyone's super, no one will be.
I'm like, oh, where did you go? And so I kind of wandered around back and forth, tried to go back into the Central Mart and
Yeah.
like poke around. And then she's like, hey, I found you. And I'm like, thank God. So we, there was a place where we could park like that is sort of like locked off. Like,
Okay.
That is involved with the because like it was like right above the supermarket or the market. And so like there was like this area we could park that got locked after a certain time.
Oh, well.
So we got there a little bit too late to get in there. But where we were parked, and like this isn't like Cambridge where
You park in Harvard Yard.
you park and like it's free from 8 at night till 6 in the morning. But if you're parking there like any other time, it's a lot of money.
Right.
We parked on the street and there was no parking fees or whatever. And
Because it's Ireland, they're friendly.
well, it's just that it's it's P-Town.
Okay, it's at the end of the line.
It's at the end of the line. They
Yeah.
want tourists to be there, and they don't want to like discourage tourists.
Right.
With exorbitant parking fees.
Got it.
It's one thing to park in a lot, but like when we were at I think it was Kilmare, we parked in a lot, and it was, and I think Kilkenny as well. Like we parked in a lot, and it was pretty reasonable. I think it was only a couple of euro to park for a couple of hours. Whereas you're parking in a lot in Cambridge or in Boston.
Yeah.
You park for the day, you are paying $46.
Yeah. I'm gonna look something up. I'm curious about the word kill in like the prefix KIL in Irish.
I've only got to the beginning of Dingle.
Yeah, so go ahead. Go you do that, and I'm gonna look up. Yeah.
So I forget hopefully I can find it on the little map here. Where the fuck? There it is. Looking at the little map here of where the fuck? Damn it! Dingle Center Restaurants and Pubs. What is number 19? No. Okay, so I know where okay. Down this way, I think number 1. No, number 7? Yes.
Number 9.
Okay, I found it.
Number 9.
I figured out. We went to John Benny's
Ooh.
For dinner the first night, and it was very good.
Yeah.
I got fish. I'm not one to like. I mean, if we're gonna
you're not fishy.
I'm not one to eat a whole heck of a lot of fish. I will eat sushi occasionally, and back in the day, I would get fish and chips, which is something that we did get, on the honeymoon.
Right.
I didn't get fish and chips, but I got like haddock, and it was like it wasn't breaded or anything. So I had that, and I had some mashed potatoes and some blood pudding, which is just
What did?
it's.
Do I want to know?
No.
Okay. All right.
Had that, and I ate the blood pudding, and it wasn't terrible. But it wasn't something I'm like, I need to get this again.
Yeah.
But I tried it, and Becky got the. We were back and forth with like the authentic Irish stew and like some sort of fish and chips, like or something else.
There's not. I mean, it's not. I don't want to disparage them, but the British Isles are not particularly known for their cuisine.
Yeah, but they make a good Irish stew.
Yeah,
and Becky's was really good. My fish was all right, but being a person that doesn't eat a lot of fish, I was like, I kind of wish I had gotten the fucking stew.
Yeah, what's in the stew? Is stew like a beef based?
Sometimes it's beef, sometimes it's lamb. Carrots, potatoes, turnips, some other shit.
Yeah.
But it's usually pretty good. So we were at what the fuck was it? John Benny's. And we run into some people from the Midwest, and we chat with them for a little while. And so that was where I had my first beer.
Oh, okay. First beer since how long?
March. How many days are in March?
31.
Okay, so March 31st was the last time I had a beer prior to this beer.
Wow.
And this was, October like
Something.
14th.
Okay. Yeah.
Or no, not that late. Probably like the 11th or 12th or something like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it had been over 6 months.
How was it?
It was really good.
Yeah. Was it a Guinness?
Yes, it was a Guinness.
It was Guinness. Yeah.
It was really good. Like the people that say that the Guinness tastes better in Ireland
Yeah.
aren't lying. And
How much? Are you sure? Like, how much of that is just that you hadn't had anything in 6 months?
That might have been part of it.
Okay. But it still
it
really
just-
was that
it
much
really,
better.
I mean, like I'd have to have had one when I got back,
Right, yeah.
to really, but I didn't want to,
Yeah.
really do that. So I'm going to just say it's better in Ireland.
All right. I'll
to
take your word.
Yeah, so it was really good, and the dinner was all right. Becky's was better. I had a taste of it.
The stew.
Yeah, and then so then we took a stroll around Dingle, and we ended up at what the fuck, at Foxy John's.
So you went from, what was the first place?
John Benny's.
John Benny to Foxy John.
Foxy John's.
So is Fox-
Actually, no. I think. Oh yeah, this was the night we got ice cream. We splurged.
This was a splurging night.
We got 2 small scoops of ice cream that we shared.
Okay.
We went. What the fuck? I forget what the name of the ice cream place was. But,
Yeah.
it was something Irish, and it was really good.
Yeah. I can imagine especially this is that probably the first time you've had ice cream and almost.
Well, we've had ice cream, but it's been
Yeah.
like sort of fake ice cream,
Right.
like with like no sugar in it. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
erythritol.
Well, because you can have the fat part.
Yeah.
Do you have milk? I can't remember. If you have milk or
Like we don't have milk usually because
Yeah.
milk has a lot of sugar in it. But,
right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But Becky puts heavy cream in her coffee.
Got it.
Just usually just like a bloop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a couple of drops is enough to make it like not look like coffee anymore.
yeah. Yeah.
Or not look like black coffee anymore.
Sorry. So you went to
And I drink, if I have like, on the rare occasion I'll have some like paleo granola or whatever, I'll have almond milk.
Got it.
Unsweetened almond milk.
Unsweetened almond. So you went to Horny John's.
We went to Foxy John's.
Foxy John's.
Which is a pub
Okay.
/ hardware store.
Nice. That reminds me of like the motorcycle shop / coffee shop that I went to in Portland, Oregon. So you're talking like a hardware store and pub.
Yep. So they have like, plenty of room in the back. For
So
people
you get drunk enough and you're like, you know what? I want to go home and I want to build a shed. So I'm going to go, I'm drunk. I'm going to go next door or to the other part of the bar. I'm going to buy myself some
they open
shit.
they open pretty early, but like the
right.
pub part isn't open that early, but the I think the hardware store part is open like maybe like earlier in the day. I think maybe at 10 a.m. or something like that. You can go in and buy shit at the hardware store part,
Right. So then you go home
across, like it's like across the way, like
Yeah.
Like you walk in and there's the bar on your left,
Yeah.
and then the hardware store part on the right.
So I see how it works. You go to the hardware store in the morning. You decide you're going to build a shed. You go home. You try to build the shed. It doesn't work out. You realize that you have no fucking idea
Like
how
a
to build
tree
a
fell
shed.
on your fucking shed.
Something just like that. Exactly like that. Yeah. And then you're so frustrated. Then you go back. You return all the shit that you shouldn't have bought anyway because you have no idea how to build a shed, and you use all that money to get for snickered.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we go in there, and it was they had some live music, and they had a guy playing the guitar, and a woman. She was either singing or playing the flute.
Okay.
And it was just nice.
Yeah.
It was just like we got a couple.
That's
seats
a good combination. That's. I'm not even trying to be funny, but like a flute and guitar or voice and guitar, I feel like you could bounce back and forth and have a really good set that way.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, and it was just nice, and
Yeah.
it wasn't super loud. I mean, it was like that's always been my complaints when I've gone to bars, like,
Yeah.
and there's a band playing, like they have like their amps, and
Yep.
it's fucking loud, and it's like any hope that you had to have a conversation with the people
Yeah.
that you're around is fucking out the window because like everybody's like yelling over like the fucking band playing covers of like that you would never actually want to hear ever again. Badly.
The time that I was in Portsmouth after
and this is coming from a person that likes doing karaoke.
Yeah.
But like you usually when you go to a bar, like there's a fucking sign out that says karaoke fucking Thursdays at 9 p.m. So you're gonna get some fucking treats.
We were at a bar after a I Could Just Diary event in Portsmouth. Not this past time the Red Sox won the series, but the time prior to that,
2013.
Yes. And there was a guy to my right playing covers on the guitar and trying to get everyone's attention while everyone was watching the last game of the World Series. Like, why the fuck do you hire that guy for the... I mean, maybe you hired him far enough in advance, but why do you keep him on when it's the last... Yeah, well, you don't know it's the last night of the World Series, but...
It could be.
It could be.
Like...
And you're not doing that guy any favors.
Yeah, like... I remember listening to Bill Burr's podcast, and he was talking about when he started doing comedy.
Yeah,
and he was performing at like the Billerica 99 during a fucking Bruins playoff game or something like that. And this is like comedy. This isn't fucking music. This is like some like music can happen sort of in the background.
Yes,
but like comedy is something you have to actively be listening to.
Right.
And he's trying to fucking tell his dick jokes, and like everybody's like, "Fuck you."
I'm trying to watch the bees here, kid. So you got a nice flute and guitar combo. You're having a nice dinner. This is after dinner.
This was after dinner. This was like
drinks.
just a couple of drinks, and we were sitting at the bar and listening to the music, and it was very nice. It was a nice atmosphere, and the people in there were nice.
Yeah,
we chatted with a couple. I forget. I forget where the couple we. It was a lot of tourists.
Yeah, were these the people from the Midwest?
This was different people.
Yeah, all right.
So different folks from different part of the country.
Yeah.
Different part of America.
Right.
We didn't actually run into, or we didn't hang out with any Irish folk until the next night.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we got up a little bit late, and then we're gonna go on a tour, and we missed the tour. So
because you got up late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just bad timing. We should have planned it, and sometimes if we had gotten there a teeny bit earlier, I think we would have been fine, but we didn't, and so there wasn't another tour going out. So, as a backup plan, I suggested, because he's famous in Dingle, is Fungi the Dingle Dolphin.
Speaking of completely defensive porpoises,
we went out on this boat and. Sure enough, this people were out on this other little smaller red boat, and they were throwing fish into the water, and every once in a while, fungi would come out of the water, and
it's just like one dolphin.
One dolphin hangs out in right near the peninsula there.
Wow,
and he just hangs out and they feed him, and then tour groups.
What's his name?
Fungi, like Fungi.
Fungi the dolphin.
The Dingle Dolphin.
Oh, Fungi the Dingle Dolphin.
I mean, I imagine if you typed in Fungi the Dolphin, you would...
yeah. Well, I mean, I want to get the right Fungi.
Yeah, not
I don't get Fungi the Miami Dolphin.
I don't imagine, like...
Because fuck that guy.
I mean, apparently this guy's been there forever, and my theory is that this is... Or I think Becky started the theory, and I agreed with it, that it's probably, a sixth or seventh generation.
Oh, like fungi the sixth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
But yeah, so we went out in the water, we saw the dolphin, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And then we came back, and we went to, I think we went to the Dingle Pub, which Rick Steves says...
Ooh.
Wander down Main Street. The Dingle Pub's designed for John Denver and Irish Rover fans. It's well established as the place for folk ballad singing rather than the churning traditional beat of an Irish folk session. He doesn't talk about it anymore. That was my Rick Steves impression.
The churning beat of an Irish folk.
It was very touristy, and the stew that I got, because I switched to Rude, and she got fish and chips.
Oh, okay.
And I got the stew.
You got the stew this night.
And
did you guys like Rochambeau that? Was that like a,
No, I'm weird about getting the same thing as she does, and it I don't know, it's
No, I get that. I was just wondering, on like a night-to-night basis, was it like rock, paper, scissors, you get to have the stew and she gets to have the shitty fish? Like,
the fish was usually pretty good.
Okay. But not as good as the stew.
Yeah. Well, this particular night, I think the fish was better than the stew.
You just not lucking out in Dingle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this restaurant in general was like, the Dingle pub was very touristy, and they just were playing this video of this guy that was on like Britain's Got Talent or something, or it might have been America's Got Talent, as a dancer, as like one of those the step dancers,
like the Irish folk dance,
Michael
step dancer.
Flatley, maybe kind of archetype.
Yeah.
And he just, dances everywhere. There was like this video that was playing the entire time we were there. This guy, and apparently he was going to dance there later.
Oh, they're trying to
keep us there, and we're just like, we're just annoyed. And so we left, and we ended up going like a little bit up. Like there was like this pub that we could see from
the place where you were.
Yeah, from the place where we were staying.
Oh, okay.
Like it was directly across the street
from the B&B.
from the Airbnb and the Central Market. Mm-hmm. And so it was Adam's pub, and we there was like two people sitting at the bar.
Yeah,
and I think they were rocking GNR or something like that.
Nice.
And so we poked our head in. They're like, get in here. And so we sit down, and then we have a couple of drinks, and we start chatting.
Yeah.
And we made friends with these two.
Yeah.
And it was Helen and Mark. Mm-hmm. They were from Cork.
Okay.
And Helen's story was that she was adopted, and she figured out where her birth father lived in Dingle.
Oh, okay.
And he's the owner of another pub in Dingle. She had met him the night before, and now they were just hanging out in Dingle after she got to meet her birth father.
Now just hanging out at Adam's.
Not only that, she met her, I think, two brothers, a sister that she didn't know she had. So
that's a pretty, that's a, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so we're at so they kept on, or the bartender and Mark and Helen, or I think the bartender was named Dan because we called him DJ Dan.
Okay.
And we kept on, asking him to play songs. He would just play them off of YouTube off of his phone.
There you go.
And
it's funny. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and then so when people would kind of stroll sort of by, like one of us would go outside and be like, "Come in here," and we didn't realize it until later. But Mark and Helen had a deal with Dan that if they could get enough people in the bar, that he would give them a free drink. And we were helping, we didn't know.
They didn't cut you in.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch.
But yeah, we brought them around, and then they brought us around. The tradition of pub life in Ireland. If you're hanging out with folks, buy them around.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that it's funny the way the universe works, in that, like you were saying, the night before, you didn't bump into any Irish folk. You didn't chum around with anybody. But that night sounded fairly pleasant as it was, right? Like you went to that was the night with the combo bar and hardware store.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas this night you go to the underwhelming, at least somewhat underwhelming pub. That was too kind of touristy. It was
very touristy.
And then because the universe
go to this complete dive.
Yeah, the universe is like, you know what? They need like a real Irish experience and a story like you just told. It's like, let's have these guys.
So we keep on bringing we brought in some people, I think from Oregon.
People from Oregon I think
they had just gotten married as well, and they had just gotten a puppy too, and Becky was like, "I want a puppy." And then I think there was some French girls that were walking by. We got them to come in, and then Helen was like, "Do you want to come over to my dad's pub? And we can, take the party on the road."
Yeah.
So we did, and but before that, like this is like I think when it became the perfect time to leave.
Right.
There was like some like sort of older dude like creeping on the French girls.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean like he wasn't that old, but I think he was just trying to work.
Did he say, "Can I?"
He was creeping in the I'm trying to work my game on you kind of way, not like. But there was this other guy that had just come in that did not say a fucking word, was obviously completely out of his mind drunk.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I don't think he had any, if all, or I don't think he had any teeth in his head. He was this old dude, and he was just like super pervy, and we're like,
and he turned to the guy. I know how this ends. He turned to the guy who was trying to get his game on, and he's like, "Hey, can you draw me like you draw those French girls?"
What? So yeah, that's when like Becky has a video of this guy, and he was just he was a piece of work, and what the fuck? I think we were. What the fuck? We were singing Cher at that point.
Turn Back Time?
No, it was Do You Believe?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that chestnut.
Yeah, so we were singing that, and I was doing my best bad Cher impression, like in the background of the video.
Yeah.
And this guy's dancing, and just we were like, okay, it's time to go. So we went, and Becky apparently took another video of our entire walk from one pub to the other one, but it was just in her pocket.
Hey, it's not a.
And so you could barely hear the things we were saying
without a not a drunk text, but a drunk video.
Yeah,
drunk live stream.
Yeah, a drunk live stream of the stroll over, and me and Mark busting on each other.
Hey, that's I dig it.
Yeah, so we went over there. We had another drink. We spilled a soda on the ground.
As you do.
It was a lot of fun. Like that was like like the interaction we had there, and like the I don't know. We're friends on Facebook now.
There you go.
Now that I'm on Facebook, and so when we were a little bit later, and this is spoilers for Dublin, we went to the Wax Museum, and then Mark was screaming that we had never watched Father Ted. And there was a Father Ted wax figure there, and so we did a selfie with him
with Father Ted. Spoilers.
Yeah,
don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to explain a wax museum on the radio. There were celebrity wax figures there.
It's hard to explain a wax museum on the radio. So does is that bringing us to the close in Dingle?
Do I have any other notes that Becky wrote for Dingle?
Any other Dingle?
Oh
notes?
Yeah, fucking tipping point.
Oh, holy shit! Yes. All right. So yeah, we're getting a little bonus
there
here.
was also we went to a cheese shop. I forgot about that. That was really good cheese, and we kind of carried it around with us for the rest of the trip. Wherever we wanted a snack, we had this cheese.
Yeah, cheese in Dingle.
Yeah,
okay.
And I think that was one of her favorite coffee shops. Was the one in Dingle. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's basically all of Dingle, except for this was one of the when I think we finally established a fondness for the show Tipping Point.
Okay.
So I think what Gina and I think Sarah would call the machine, they called it the Heedle Deedle machine.
Okay.
At Fun Spot. So it was the machine that you put in coins.
Yeah.
So it would drop them down, and then a little conveyor would push it off. Push.
Oh, okay.
Push the coins off, so we could push more coins off, so we could drop them down.
Okay.
And so Tipping Point is that. Only it's a trivia game. You play trivia. You answer trivia questions.
Yeah.
You get them right. You get a coin to put in this giant Heedle Deedle machine.
Yeah.
And it pushes the coins off, and every time you push one off, you get 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And so this became our favorite midday thing was to watch Tipping Point.
Yeah.
And so wherever we're at, I'm like trying to look for, I think it was like Virgin like 4 or something like that. I'm like, where the fuck is Tipping Point?
And it was on at like 11 in the morning.
Yeah, like right before we would go out for lunch. So
Okay.
we would watch Tipping Point, and then we'd go out and then like have a bite to eat.
Why is 11 o'clock? Okay, so why is 11 o'clock the perfect time for a game show? Because I remember summers at home and like lazing around until 11 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock was when The Price is Right came on, and that was like, all right, I guess I got to start the day now.
I think it's just because it's right before lunch, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we watch The Price is Right, and then
It's
go
like,
have
I
some
should-
lunch or make a sandwich or something like that. Or you could, like, if you're like me and like eating at 11 o'clock because you get up
Yeah.
at 5 in the fucking morning. You could watch while you're eating your break or your lunch.
But it's kind of like it's like it gets to be 11 o'clock and you're like, I should get up and start my day, but you know what? I could just spend one more hour sitting around doing nothing and watching The Price is Right or Tipping Point.
The reason why they called it the Heedle Deedle machine was when like you actually dropped coins down.
Yeah.
It would go Heedle Deedle 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 Deedle.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/214. That's 214. And if you would like to contribute an email, as Leo did at the top, well, it's supposed to be the top of the show.
It was somewhere in the middle of the show.
You can send those emails to hot@clarkwoods.com.
That's hot at clarkwoods.com.
Yeah. Now, the most important question that I think we got to, before we end, and this is the host of Tipping Point. Is there a host?
Yes, I forget what his name is.
All right. Is he a Pat Sajak or an Alex Trebek?
I don't know if he's a dickhead.